One of the first things you'll need to do in your mobile suite is to adjust some basic settings. And to do this, we're going to go into the mobile submenu and we're going to select App Settings. On this page, you'll see that settings are broken into two categories. We have customizable settings. These are settings that update your app in real time. So if your app is currently open, you may need to close and reopen the app to see the changes. Additionally, we have permanent settings. And these are settings that are built into the native apps for Apple and Android. It's a bit of a misnomer. They are permanent in that if you change them, then you have to go back through Apple's approval process. So this is something that we encourage people to do rarely. If you're going to change things, you may be changing your splash screen or your icons. It's something that you're going to do maybe once a year. It's not something you're going to do once a month. So, going back to the top, customizable settings. Here you can enter in a box office telephone number. This is great if you are working with one particular venue and you have a centralized box office number that you're always going to use for your events. Then you can enter that in here. Now you'll see I went ahead and entered things in as I normally would, but we need to go in and make sure that we include the country code. So in the US, that means we need to put in a +1. And then there are other examples. You put in your country code. So for London, it would be 44, and then the remaining number. Next, you have header text. Header text appears at the top of the app, and you can see that there's a 25 character limit. So, like for example, here with Stensrud Center for the Performing Arts, it's obviously not going to fit. So, I may make a decision to take off for the performing arts and just have it be Stensrud Center. I may add a "the" in front of it. Below the header text, again, are permanent settings. So these are not settings that are updated in real time, as I mentioned. When you submit your app the first time, you'll go through Apple's approval process for the app. So we submit the app to Apple on your behalf. They review it. It usually takes 1 to 2 business weeks for an approval. And then if you make any changes to these particular items, you have to go through that process again. Your app would still remain active while you go through the reapproval process, but your changes wouldn't appear. So the items that are in the permanent settings area, these include the menu app name. So this is the name for your app as it appears on the iPhone menu. And again, you have about 12 characters to work with here. So we're just going to put Stensrud here. And I could put the CTR, but I think it just works better with the name. So I'm going to leave it off. And then when we get down here, this is the name for the app as it appears in the App Store. So the App Store for Apple or in the Google Play Marketplace for Android. Now here you have 30 characters that you can work with. So here I'm going to put Stensrud Center. Beneath the App Store name is the release date. You can select a specific date if you'd like. So, for example, if you're getting ready to submit your app now, but you didn't want it to go live for 5 weeks, then you could put in the exact date that you would like for it to be available. Otherwise, you can just leave as soon as possible selected as the default. Next, you'll need to choose or select an app icon. And this is the universal icon for your app. This is the icon that will appear in the App Store. This is also the icon that will appear on the smartphone or tablet device. So you're going to upload a 1024 by 1024 image. We recommend that you use PNG image files because they'll load faster. Please do not add a gloss or round the corners. This will be done automatically by the App Store. So here we're going to go in and choose. So here I'm going to choose the app icon. And then the next thing I'll need to load will be the loading screen. So the loading screen is an image that is displayed the first time a user logs into your app, and then briefly every other time the user opens your app. Basically, the image is presented while the machine is prepping your app for use. So for this particular image, we recommend that you use an 1800 by 2800 pixel image. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we've uploaded our icon. And then we're going to go ahead and select our loading screen and upload that image. So you can scroll down to see how your images look. So now one of the things that we're realizing is that there are a lot of different size devices out there. And to accommodate devices that have different aspect ratios, we're recommending a bleed area of 225 pixels on the top and bottom and 115 pixels on the right and the left. So we can see here how Stensored Center is in the bleed area, which means that on particular devices that have a different aspect ratio, this might actually be cut off. So since I know that, it's probably a good idea for me to have my graphic designer go back into the image and adjust it accordingly so that it'll fit within the red lines. And that way, any text I have will appear here and not over in the bleed area.